Hey guys, it is Nick with Nick's Topics, and I am back with another topic video. Today I am continuing to talk about the topic that I'm on right now. What if Shane was not killed in The Walking Dead by Rick? Now, I hope you guys enjoyed my last episode. I'm going to continue doing these every Tuesday, like I said. Kind of did this all last minute, kind of. So, sorry if it came out a bit later. That's my bad. I kind of procrastinated. Also forgot. Also, I got other YouTube channels. Just started actually another YouTube channel. Yes, I have a million YouTube channels. That is not changing. As always, I'm going to post the links for all my other channels in the description, so that way you guys can go check them out. Now to the matter at hand. Today, we're going to be on the second episode of What If Shane Was Not Killed. So here's the whole premise. Shane being alive changes The Walking Dead forever. Basically, a lot of things change. Michonne dies. No Michonne. That means no RJ, or whatever his name was. Merle actually lives past the governor arc. Karen, David, Tyrese, and Beth, they all live to Alexandria. So, that's a thing. Yeah, a lot of things changed. But yeah. Basically, on the last episode, the group was brought to Alexandria by Aaron. Now, the group is consisting of the following. Okay, so that is who the group is. So now, with the group being a heck of a lot bigger, there's more speculation on if the group can be trusted or not. But after being interviewed by Deanna, like in the original, she gets an idea of what happened to the people and like what their stories are and stuff. But this time, like I said, Tyrese, Beth, Karen, David, Merle, and Shane, they're all brought to Alexandria. New interviews, new people. Definitely more speculation. And more time needed to trust them. They still meet up with Aiden. Go out to the woods. And that stuff pretty much happens as normal. And Rick and Shane are actually the ones that are given the cop jobs. If you guys remember it in the original, it was Rick and Michonne who both assigned to be have the police uniforms and everything else. This time it's Rick and Shane, and they both have the uniforms because Deanna knows they're best friends, so it makes sense. The whole issue with Jesse and Pete still happens. This time, Rick is not the one to beat Pete to a bloody pulp. Shane is. And you want to know what actually happens? Shane kills Pete. He does not go and just beat him up like Rick did. He kills him. And he's about to be stopped, but Shane basically lays into them the same way that he did in Season 2 at the barn. And just before someone is about to stop Shane, Rick backs him up and tells everyone everything about what transpired and that Shane is right, that Pete was a menace. And eventually, Jesse has to speak up too and realize that, yeah, they're both right. And realize that Shane was right to kill Pete. So that also means since Pete is dead immediately, that means Deanna's husband gets to live. He lives farther. And basically, the group is immediately, like, the whole Alexandria place is immediately, like, they know what to do. Immediately. Events pretty much transpire as normal. Morgan, we still get to see Morgan and what he was up to. We still have the encounter with the wolves invading Alexandria with the herd and everything else, and Daryl and Merle, Sasha and Abraham all splitting off, except this time whenever Daryl meets up with Dwight, this time Dwight dies. No more Dwight. Just as Daryl and Dwight are having a standoff, Merle cuts the tension, literally, and slits Dwight's throat. So that means Dwight is gone. No Dwight. That means a lot more things will change with that, too. And you'll see what changes. Now, you guys might be asking, if Dwight is dead, then what happens to Denise? What happens to Daryl and Glenn, and what would have happened with Michonne? Do they still get kidnapped? Well, I'll get to that. Like I said, with Dwight dead, that changes a lot. And you might also be asking, what about the two girls? Do Daryl and Merle kill them? No, because they didn't try to hold Daryl a hostage point in the original. Dwight did. He was the bad guy in that situation. Daryl and Merle encounter Sasha and Abraham and tell them what went down. Meanwhile, per the original, the clock tower still falls down, and the Horde and the Wolves bust into Alexandria. And at this point, my friends, Karen, David, Beth, and Tyrese, they all meet their end. Because at this point, they've lived long enough, and they would have died sooner or later anyway. Anyway, the whole event happened with the saviors on the road. If you guys remember in the original, Daryl, Sasha, and Abraham meet the biker saviors on the road, and they're asked to give over their crap. Except with Merle there, it's a little bit more of a fight. And you might be asking, do the saviors take away Merle's blade on his hand? Yes. But it still happens as normal. Daryl blows him to smithereens. But now, Merle doesn't have a sword, because it was blown to smithereens. Because, saviors took it. Because if they hadn't taken it, Merle would have slashed one of them, and they would have all killed them. Kill them all. That's another side to the story. Anyway, back at Alexandria, the group is still forced, like the original, to disguise themselves as zombies. The events happen as normal with Jesse and Sam, with both of them dying, and Ron about to kill Rick, per the original. But this time, even though Michonne isn't there to stop him, Shane does. He kills Ron immediately. And by this point, Shane's pretty much grown back his hair, like you saw in season 1. He's grown back his hair. He kills Ron. So you know what that means? That means that Carl gets to keep both of his eyes. For now, at least. Time. He has both of his eyes, and basically everything goes as normal. They still meet up with Jesus. Still get to go to the hilltop. The fight with Ethan still happens, and he is killed. So that happens per the original, like I said. And then they go to the satellite outpost, take out the saviors there. Eugene and Abraham still go to the place to make some bullets, have their differences, because if you guys remember the things with Washington and everything, that still happens as normal. Maggie, her pregnancy advances, and they eventually have to go to the hilltop to get medicine. But at this point, per the original, they meet up with Simon and the Saviors on the road. Those events still happen as normal, and the group is eventually surrounded by the Saviors. Now, you might be asking, since Dwight is dead, who is the other right-hand man or gal besides Simon? Well, since Dwight's dead, guess who the new right-hand person is? You guess it's gonna blow your minds. The new right-hand person is Tara. I know. Shocker. Now you guys might be wondering, why in the world would Tara join up with the Saviors, of all things? It's because she never joined up with the governor. She was still in her home. The only reason that Tara joined with the group is because she was taken with the governor, but she never met the governor. So if the Saviors met Tara and she was all alone, or like something to that nature, Negan would likely see her resilience like similar to Michonne. All the strength and all of that spunk and no strength to use it. Basically, that sort of thing. So Tara would be the one to put everyone on their knees, just as Simon. Then we eventually meet the big man himself, Negan. And that is where we are going to stop. Now, I know, it's a cliffhanger, but don't worry, guys. I will be back on next Tuesday for the next episode. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I really enjoy making it. I know, it's a cliffhanger to, like, leave off with Tara and stuff like that. But don't worry. We will get to that. Oh, and there's one more thing that I forgot to mention. Morgan and Carol are actually this time with the group. See, with Carol never meeting Lizzie and Mika, that, like, leaves her somewhat still sane. So her and Morgan never split off from the group. I also forgot to mention that Morgan comes back with the group and everything. Well, I did say that the events transpire as normal, so you gotta forgive me for that one. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. I will be back next Tuesday for the next episode. I will see you guys then. Peace.